Today's ABA word is internal validity, and we are going to define each item under internal validity. So we're going to think about like internally inside of the experiment. How confident are we that our independent variable actually changed the behavior? I'm going to start with maturation first. Of course, they're going to be maturing, right? They're just kind of getting older. These are factors that we have no control of that they're kind of experiencing and being exposed to. We can't say it was just all of us in our experiment and the independent variable in our experimentation. As they're growing and maturing, that we're not taking all the credit for that. Their history, I mean, yeah, yesterday was history. Did they get a new teacher? Did they change schools? Is there a life-changing event that happened? These are threats, right? Maturation and that history, like we are not in control of that. Testing effects, if you are doing the same type of testing, you're going to be using and placing the same instructions and demands, sometimes they're starting to just memorize these patterns. So when we're thinking about testing effects, it's like, how can we change it up? So then we're not having this threat of like, oh yeah, we're seeing progress, but in reality, there's just memorization. Instrumentation, what instruments are you using while you're collecting data? What if someone's using this really dope like timer to track time and someone's using an analog clock, and now you're looking at some differences in data that's being collected, or as the RBT, they are considered instrumentations. These are the people collecting the data, implementing these strategies. So if we're continuously switching RBTs and BTs in between, that could be a threat to our experimentation. Are we using a different data sheet every single time someone's going in there? So we have to make sure we're controlling those instrumentations that are being used in our experiments. Observer drift, you're just kind of drifting off. You're not, counting for those small details, distracted. Like, we want to make sure that we stay consistent and we monitor and we supervise. And reactivity is another one. So of course, like I said, we're learning patterns. They're understanding you're there every Tuesday, Thursday, a specific time. Maybe you see more of an aggressive behavior. Maybe you see less aggression when you're there. We find ways to avoid reactivity. We make it more naturalistic. Observer bias, they're being biased against their observation. They're just hopeful. They're like, you know what? That looks like it's improving. Let me go ahead and like document it that way. I'm just going to record it correctly because it was almost there. It's just becoming a little more biased when our data collection is being collected.